Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to this live session of understanding your power, um, and to really tap into that power that you really have that you don't even know that you have. So this is a live session. So welcome, welcome, welcome. My schedule has been a little bit erratic because I've been traveling quite a bit these days. So I want to welcome you to this live session. I try to come on as at least once a week, but if I can't, I apologize. Hello, Dr. Deasy. Hello, Blessings. Hi, hello, Diana Huerta. So just to really, really welcome you and really wanted to talk to you about this topic because I think one of the things that debilitates us is that we get so socialized and we get so indoctrinated by society and all of the limiting beliefs. Each one of you and each one of us don't realize how much power we really have, how much of a manifester that we could be. But we've been so programmed by society, by people around us, family, friends, that we don't truly understand your true power and believe in your true power. And that is the foundation for any manifestations of the desires or the goals or the visions that you have for your life. So let's stay tuned. Let's clear the energy of the room. I'm going to do a little a promotion of these beautiful 69 Moons herbs based on traditional Chinese medicine. I'm sure some of you already know that I'm very passionate about traditional Chinese medicine. I take traditional Chinese medicine herbs every day. And so therefore, I have these two products, the 69 Moons, Xiao Yao Sun Plus, which helps to calm and focus the mind, the Yu Ping Fang Sun Plus, which helps to support a healthy immune system. And I'm a huge fan of these herbs, and we added additional herbs to these classical formulas. So you could get these at shop.yinandyangliving.com, shop.yinandyangliving.com. Okay. So hi, Christy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Carmen. Okay, let's clear the energy of the room and let's get straight into the topic. Just be calm, relax, focus on your breathing, stay present in the now. Hey, God, angel, spirit guys, Cinder Masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space. Thank you so much for allowing this space to be pure, to be calm, to be serene. Thank you so much for allowing this session to empower each one of these beautiful viewers on their true uh, power of who they really are, to understand it, to live it, to embody it, so that they can manifest their soul's path, their vision, their desires. Thank you so much for removing low frequency energies from the sacred space that do not belong here, so that it could be a high vibe session of wonderful, wonderful exchange of ideas, of messages that you have that truly empower these wonderful viewers. Thank you. And so it is. Namaste. Okay. Hello, Vladimir. Okay, so I think the foundation for any kind of manifestation of your vision, of your desire, whether it's in health, money, career, business, relationships, whatever it is, it really starts from your your understanding of and your belief system of where you are at mentally, emotionally. Where are you mentally, emotionally? Because everything comes out of that space, right? So that's why I always say, when you see people behave the way they behave, whether you agree with them or not, they're behaving based on where they are mentally and emotionally, right? Even if you disagree and you say, oh, that's bad behavior, you can't expect them to behave any other way if they are at a certain mental emotional space. So what I'm saying to you is you can't expect somebody to go out and create a company and, do all the things that it requires to create that company if they don't believe in themselves, right? Because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you go out and create a company because you don't believe that you can do it, right? So everything that that person does is going to be based on where they are at mentally, emotionally. So if you're here, you're going to do everything here. If you're here, you're going to do everything here. If you're here, you're going to do everything here. That's how it works. So that's why when I see people, and sometimes I don't agree with what they do, I have compassion for them from afar, and I give them blessing. I ask the divine to please guide them to their infinite potential, to their awakening, to their alignment. I just pray. I give them prayer, and I ask God to guide them in the right direction, because I know I have no control over what they do, and their soul's journey is unique. But I send them blessing from afar and ask the divine to guide them. And so really the essence of why you don't understand your true power, because really society is telling you, it's indoctrinating you, whether it's people in your home, whether it's your parents, whether it's your grandparents, whether it's your aunt, uncle, friends, school, society at large, is telling you something and constantly feeding you messages that are not truly aligned with who you really are, your infinite potential. And the reason why I say you have this infinite potential is because you are an energetic being. You are 99.9999% energy, vibrational frequency. You're coming out of a quantum field of infinite possibilities. That's where you're coming out of. That's who you really are. You are 99.9999% energy, and only 0.0001% of physical form. So this physical form that you see, smell, hear, and touch, this is only 0.0001% of you. You are a vibrational frequency of energy consciousness, which means that this energy can move in any direction and go in any direction. It can go and move in any direction, which means that you have infinite possibilities and infinite potential to manifest that vision that you have for yourself. This is why your thoughts create your reality, because the observer in that quantum field of infinite possibilities, and you are that observer, is going to determine which way the energy flows. Then the manifestation comes out as a byproduct. Always remember that manifestations is just a byproduct of how your energy is flowing. That's why in traditional Chinese medicine, they call it qi, the life force energy. The entire traditional Chinese medicine system is based on qi, the life force energy. So is Ayurveda. In the Indian Ayurveda, that healing system based on life force energy. Ki, Reiki in Japanese, life force energy. Everything in this universe, including you, and everything that happens in your life is based on energy and energy flow. So the more flow you have, the more powerful you're going to become as a manifester. So really, all manifestations really happen as a result of really that energy not flowing, that blocked energy, low frequency energy. And so your thoughts is really the foundation, and your belief about yourself is the foundation for where that energy is going to flow. What are you broadcasting out into the universe? If you are essentially this 99.9999% of you, this energetic being, is this infinite possibility being, why is it that you don't see infinite possibilities in your life right now, physically? Why is that? Because we've been trained, we've been indoctrinated and programmed since we were in our mother's womb. When you're in your mother's womb and your mother is having limited beliefs or having anger, frustration, or stress, she is allowing that to be transferred to her baby, the fetus. And that fetus is a consciousness being that's absorbing energy from the mother already in the mother's womb. As it grows, that's why when you see certain mothers, they play classical music, right? They say beautiful things to their baby while it's in its womb. That's a great thing to do that. It's very important for women who are pregnant to already be giving positive energy to their child in their womb. It's very important because that fetus is a consciousness. It's not conscious in the sense that you think, oh, it's going to say 8 + 1 + 1 is 2. It's not that type of consciousness, but it's a consciousness that knows that is impacted by the environment, right? Because every cell, it's all cells, right? Every cell responds to the environment. It responds to low frequency and it responds to high frequency. And so as you're in your mother's womb, and let's say your mother has maybe some limiting beliefs, you're already starting to absorb those things unconsciously. And then you come out of your mother's womb, and then what happens? Oh, your parents, or maybe it's your grandmother. Maybe you're being raised by your grandmother, not really your parents. And your grandmother has all of these limiting beliefs, right, about her life because she experienced a hard life. She's going to influence that onto you, and you're going to absorb it like a sponge as a little child. Then you have extended relatives. They have their limiting beliefs, and they're influencing that onto you as a child. Now you get to become a young adolescent. Maybe you're 10 years old, 12 years old, and you start to go to school. And all the kids around you or the teachers or whatever, they have their own limiting beliefs. And they're now projecting that onto you. Then you go into junior high school, you go into high school, and people around you, again, with their own limiting beliefs because of their limited life, is now projecting that onto you. And we're being influenced constant, not to mention social media, how much influence we have on social media, right? So much programming. We go out to society, we get a job, or we work for a company, more limiting beliefs. More people are just continuing to project their stuff onto you that really has nothing to do with you. You are an individual energetic blueprint, and they keep imposing their energy onto you, their limiting beliefs, their ideology onto you, right? That doesn't really have anything to do really with your soul's path and journey. Meaning that your soul is saying to do it the way you should do it and how you should be, because you are a unique energetic blueprint. And so what it is that can you blame yourself? Can you blame yourself for feeling defeated? Can you blame yourself for feeling disempowered when the entire world is disempowering you, right? The entire world is disempowering. And in some ways, I don't even blame them because they were conditioned by their own parents, by their own grandparents, by their own family and friends and society, right? I can't even blame my parents because they were conditioned, right? And then their parents were conditioned, right? So how can you even blame them? It's like this vicious cycle, generational vicious cycle that's happening here. And so once you start to really do that inner work and really start to be aware of yourself and to come home to your soul, to come home to your higher self, you start to realize, oh my God, I am the infinite possibility of infinite potential. Because you start to connect with that infinite part of yourself. When you go inward and you start to imagine, you start to have visualizations or virtualizations of your life the way you want it, whether you want to make a huge impact in the world, whether you want to live, you want to see yourself living this beautiful, peaceful life on an ocean over, with your home overlooking the ocean, whatever is, when you start to come home to yourself, to your infinite potential, and start to block out all of that white noise around you, you start to really understand your true power, who you really are, and that you are unconditionally worthy and unconditionally lovable. Why is it that we don't feel unconditionally? Why is it that you don't feel unconditionally worthy? Is because when you have so much information coming at you that your worthiness is based on condition, is based on that you have to have these things, that you must look this way, that you must have this much money in the bank account, you must have this type of home, you must have this type of car, you must have this type of friends, you must look like this way. Those are all conditioning, right? And that's coming at each one of us, like bombarded all day, all night, 24/7. We're bombarded with this message that your worthiness is condition based, when it's not true. Your true nature of you is that you are unconditionally worthy by the virtue of your existence and as an energetic, infinite being of infinite potential. That makes you right there unconditionally worthy. And there's no condition that you should be placing on your worthiness, but we constantly place conditions because society places those conditions on our worthiness. So no wonder why each one of us feels so disempowered, so weak, so, oh, I can't do this. I'm not able to do this. How am I going to do this? How is this even possible for me? Are you kidding me? I can never see that happening for me, right? What do you expect? Of course, you're going to feel that way and not understand your power and feel disempowered. So I have tremendous amount of compassion for all of us living in a disempowered state, that you don't truly understand your power. So once you understand that you are this energy frequency that can move in any direction, that you could flow this energy in this direction, in this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction. Think of about how empowering that really becomes for you. And then you're saying that my worthiness is not condition-based. I am worthy unconditionally. And when you start to feel that I am worthy unconditionally, you start to feel empowered, right? You're not looking for other people to approve of you. You're not looking for other people to accept you. You're not looking for that outside to drive your life. You're not looking to outside forces to drive your life. What's happening is you're really tapping into your true power of infinite possibilities, because you are this energy being in the quantum field. And when you start to tap into your absolute existential truth, spiritual truth, that you are an eternal being of eternal expansion, which is your absolute spiritual higher self truth, you start to not care so much about what other people say, right? And you start to go on your soul's journey in your own drumbeat. And when you start to go on your drumbeat and you are so fabulous and you are so worthy and you just exude that vibrational frequency of, I am fabulous, I'm worthy, I can make this happen, the universe has my back, I have talents and gifts that God has bestowed upon me, and I can apply those talents and gifts. Wow. You are vibrating such a high frequency that you influence other people and they come to you. They come to you. They come to you. They come to you. And they come to you because you're such a high vibe frequency and people want to be around you. Now, there might be people who see that and say, oh God, because they're so low frequency that they may see that and have envy. But those people, you're not here to please everybody. That's not your job here, to please everybody, because there will always be low frequency people that look upon you and frown upon you, right? Because they're not able to raise their frequency. But those are not the people that you need to influence. We're not here to influence everybody. We're here to influence those that are ready, that resonate with what we have to offer, right? So don't worry about so much getting the approval of other people, getting the acceptance of other people. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. So let me just take a break. Does anybody have a question so far about this topic? Hello, Klaus Vergara. Hello, Vivian. Hello, Corey. Hello, Miracles 888. Hello, Kim. Hello, Carmen Velasquez. Okay, so if you have a question about this topic, let me know, and I'm happy to answer it. So let me continue. So the way it is your true existence in this time-space reality, what we call life, is really tied to your eternal being. Your soul comes into this physical form for this, what you call life, this time-space reality consciousness level, to have all of these physical experiences for the expansion and growth of your soul. That's why you're here. And so what it is you're here because your soul is saying, I need to learn a lot of lessons for that eternal expansion and growth. So what you want to be looking out for is you want to be looking out for when situations arise, for example, like let's say you say, you know what, I really want to get into that field, but I have no education in that field. I don't know anybody in that field. How am I going to do this? People are going to judge me saying that I don't have the expertise, I don't have the education, I don't have this, I don't have that, right? Again, you're being influenced by the white noise of society. Once you see yourself catching yourself saying those things, you've got to be very aware of that, because the way you flow energy is through the mind. The mind is the essence of where all energy flows. That is the foundation, because your thoughts, as you keep repeating those thoughts, create that emotion, and those emotions then vibrate a vibrational frequency. And so then the universe matches it, so it either gives you flow or blocked energy, depending on where you are in your vibrational frequency. So being aware of what you're saying to yourself, oh my God, you know, I wanted to start this new company, but then I keep saying, wow, I'm saying to myself things that, you know, society would say to, oh, I don't have the right education, I don't have the right background. But you can always get the right education. Then now you don't even have to go to college. You could go online. Everything's online. Everything is online. You can learn anything online now, because the information, you know, look at ChatGPT. ChatGPT basically took the entire internet and made it accessible for you, right? So everything is online. So it's all possible. You says, oh, I don't know the right people. Well, you'll meet the right people. You don't have to know exactly how, exactly when. It's going to happen. It's going to be brought to you. Okay, so let me take a break here, because I see somebody people are starting to ask questions. Okay, Skylar, if one is insecure of themselves and their skills and abilities, how can they remove the need to be validated by others? How can you remove this limiting feeling and mindset about yourself? That's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. And Skylar, it really comes down to practice. Practice. And also not being around those people. Don't allow those people to be around you too much. Because you want to stop that influence. You want to stop their limiting beliefs from being around you, right? If they keep saying all these limiting things about your skills and this and that, then you want to minimize your interaction with them or completely remove all interactions with them, one or the other. That's number one, because you don't want that energy to keep coming at you, right? Coming at you, coming at you. So you've got to either minimize that interaction with those people, or you've got to completely cut it out. The second thing is that when you're going to hear yourself, you're saying, oh God, yeah, society, you're probably saying to yourself, oh, what is society going to think? You know, it's going to say that I don't have I don't have the education. I don't have the background to do this, right? You're playing that story in your head, right? Then that's the time when you have to say, wait a second, stop, Skylar, stop. Stop what I'm saying to myself. Wow. Pause. How can I turn this around? What can I say to myself that I still believe that's true? You could say, you know what? I don't necessarily have the skills right now, but I'm learning. I'm learning. And I'm going to have them. That's realistic, right? I'm learning. I'm going to have them. And I'm going to continue to learn. And I'm going to continue to get better and better. Right? Because everything is learned. Everything. There's nothing that nobody becomes a doctor just overnight. They have to learn, right? Nobody becomes an engineer overnight. They're learning. Now you have natural talents and gifts that God has bestowed upon you, but you still have to learn on top of having those natural talents and gifts. You still have to learn things, right? So you could say, I'm learning. Every day I spend some time learning this, learning that. If it's marketing that you got to learn, then he says, you know what? Every day I'm taking 2 hours of my day, an hour of my day to learn about marketing. So you could say that. So every time you say that to yourself, you're saying, God, I keep having these limiting mindset. Got to pause it. Pause it. Say, pause. How can I reframe this so that I could still believe it? Right? So it takes practice and training, because right now you're also, by doing that, you're also training that subconscious mind. And also you really want to do the practice of virtualization. Here's let me give you a video about virtualization. You want to practice this virtualization tip, because this will also really help you to deprogram yourself and deprogram that subconscious mind. Virtualization. I'm trying to find this video here. Okay. Here's a video on virtualization. And then there is a meditation that I'll share with you. I put virtualization tool and then virtualization meditation. I also have a virtualization meditation that you could use to keep virtualizing that what it is that you see yourself, that you know is on your soul's path, that vision that you have. You want to keep practicing that and virtualizing it through a meditation. So let me see if I can find, where's this virtual meditation? I know I have it somewhere here. And you're virtualizing your vision. Let me see where it is. I'm going to try to find it so that you can, I'm trying to find this virtualization meditation. I don't know where it is. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You know what? At the end of that video link that I gave you, you'll see a link to the virtualization meditation. At the end of that link, at the end of this virtualization tool video, there's a link to that meditation. So use that. It's about practice, 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 practice. Deprogramming, reprogramming, deprogramming, and reprogramming that subconscious mind. Okay, B. Curry, how do you draw a good job to yourself? Okay. It's called law of attraction. It's called law of manifesting. You are what you have to be what you desire. So, for example, if you want that job, you says, you know, I want a job at that marketing company, and I want to be, let's say, the product manager or the marketing manager of that company, and I think that company is so fabulous. You have to start to embody that person. What are the qualities of a marketing manager? Write it down. That is still within who you are. You don't want to be somebody completely different. You still have to be B. Curry. But how can B. Curry start to embody that marketing manager job? What would I do if I was that marketing manager? Write down all of the qualities of that marketing manager. And then take one of the qualities each day and embody it. So for example, if the marketing manager is very creative, very creative about the way they market, because the marketing manager may have to be very creative, then use that creative skills. How can I use it today? How can I be creative today? How can I think out of the box today? If the marketing manager has to think out of the box, then what can I do today to think out of the box? Or if the marketing manager has to be a confident person, right? Because maybe the marketing manager is leading a team. What can I do today to feel confident to lead a team? Or if the marketing manager has to become a leader, right? Because it's a manager, what are the qualities of a leader? The qualities of a leader may be somebody who says what they do, what they say. So am I doing what I say? Or am I just saying something and doing something else? Because a great leader does what he or she says, right? So am I embodying that quality? What another quality of a great marketing manager? Honesty, integrity, maybe to their clients or to their team members, right? Transparency. Am I honest? Do I have integrity? Am I transparent? So you have to start to embody those qualities. You have to be what you desire. Because if the marketing manager is here and you're here, by being and living that marketing manager's life now, what you're doing is you're raising your frequency to match. And once you raise that frequency and you match that marketing manager, it just comes in. You're attracting. So you have to be what you desire. So start to embody those qualities of that job that you desire. Great question. Vivian Nigeri. In the past, I was rejected for my failures. I strive for material success to validate myself to them, hoping to increase my value before them so they can accept me or regret losing me. Yes, that's right. And many of us do that. Many of us feel that if we have these things, right, the material things, the outward success, then other people will validate us, right? But the person that you've got to validate is really yourself. You've got to validate you unconditionally without that outside external. Once you do that, then you're not so much worried about the people outside of you. And you're still going to have such powerful influence because people are going to look at you and say, wow, I wish I was like Vivian. Look at her. She's so fabulous. She's so fabulous because she stands for herself. She's confident about herself. She's worthy. She gains respect from people around her, right? And so when they see that, you become a magnet. You're drawing people into your experience, your orbit. So that's right. And I think many of us do that because we just want to feel validated. And we think that if we're accepted by society, then we are validated, which is not true. You already are unconditionally validated by the infinite wisdom of the divine and the universe. Nobody has to validate you to be validated. So that was a wise thing that you pointed out. So thank you so much. Simi, hey Moon, in regard to feeling powerful, how do we overcome emotions like doubt, fear, or guilt? Yeah, these are powerful, powerful emotions, right? Doubt, fear, guilt, right? It's not so, okay, so the way I'm going to reframe this is not so much about overcoming those emotions, because those emotions are there for a reason. God gave you doubt, fear, guilt for reasons that are valid. But oftentimes we have those emotions, but they're not valid. For example, if somebody is, chasing after you with a knife, having a fear emotion is valid, right? You want to have it during those times, right? But most of the time we live with fear when there's no fear happening right now around us, right? There's nobody chasing after you right now with a knife, right? So most of the fear that we carry is invalid. It doesn't have a purpose. And all it does is stress us out. And then when we stress out, we get disease. So what it is this, is that you're not necessarily trying to get rid of those, like when you say overcome, it's not, and I know what you mean by overcome, but I want to reframe it. What you want to do is you want to manage it in a healthy way. Because sometimes fear and doubt are there for a reason, and guilt. If you've done something bad, like something criminal, you should feel guilty. Because that guilt is going to prevent you from doing those bad things in the future, right? So these emotions are valid during the valid times. What you're saying to you is, how can I overcome these emotions when it's not valid, right? Like it's debilitating me now. I can't move forward with my life. I can't start this business. I can't start this relationship because I have too much of these feelings that are now no longer serving me. And so you're saying, how can I overcome it during these times when it's no longer serving me? And what I'm saying is what you're doing is, what you want to do is you want to manage. So for instance, with fear is a good one because fear is really the foundation for everything, I think. It's the emotion that is the foundation for all low frequency. The fear and fear and guilt is another one, but fear is a very big one. And so the way you manage that, and does that mean because you don't ever have it in the future, you're managing it from day to day, right? Is to face fear. Because when you face it, you realize, and then when you face it and acknowledge it, like right here, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. And so the fear starts to have less and less power. It just kind of goes like this, dissipates, melts. So the best tool, and I've used this many times, is I close my eyes and I observe that emotion. Where's that emotion manifesting in my body? Because fear manifests. In traditional Chinese medicine, they said one of the areas is the kidney. And I have a meditation for this, is the kidney area. But if let's say you're feeling fear for some reason in your heart and it's palpitating like this, then you just close your eyes and you observe it. Don't judge it. It's neither good nor bad. You don't want to put a judgment on it, because when you do, that's when all of these emotions start coming up. So it's neither good nor bad. You're just observing it like a third eye witness. And you acknowledge, you say, fear, I acknowledge your presence in me. I acknowledge your presence in me. And try to observe that fear from a third eye perspective, from a third eye witness. You're just observing it from a third eye witness. And as you keep observing it, you're like, oh, it's not what's happening. It's giving less and less power. Fear is having less and less power. The frequency is not so strong. As you just keep observing it without judgment, observing it without judgment, observing it without judgment. And what you're going to start to see is that energy starts to dissipate and it starts to get released from your body. The best way to really manage fear is to just face it. Face it. Same thing with guilt and doubt. Do the same thing. Say and ask yourself, why do I have this guilt? Where is it coming from? You can ask your inner child, because your inner child will know where that guilt is coming from. Inner child, thank you for being here with me. I love you. Where is this guilt coming from? And listen quietly what it's saying to you. The inner child will speak. It's coming from this. It's coming from that. You're like, oh, aha. I get it. So you want to go inward and you want to observe what's happening in your body. And what thoughts, what images are you getting as you're doing this inner work, going inward? And you'll see there'll be a lot of enlightening moments. And sometimes there might be moments where you're not getting the answer, but that's okay. That's part of the process in the journey. Keep doing it and you will see, you will get results. So that's a wonderful question. So thank you. Okay. Perry. Hi, Perry. How are you? When do things that are enjoyable and beneficial for our well-being, when we do things that are enjoyable and beneficial for our well-being, we learn to make decisions for our wholeness and comfort. I totally agree with that. Thank you so much for that wisdom. Choose wisely and choose to live with love and care about the immediate and unique ways of living with enthusiasm and learning. I love it. Thank you so much. Are we choosing to be involved in a beneficial situation for a joyful journey with creative passion and inspiration? Yes, I think we all have a choice, right? And that is the great thing about the uniqueness between humans is that unique gift that God has given us is we have the gift of choosing. We can choose this path, this path, this path, this path. Choosing. But we're only going to ever be able to choose from where we are mentally and emotionally. What state are we at mentally, emotionally? And from there, you're going to choose the direction, right? If you're in a low frequency, if you're in a mental, emotional state of fear, what are you going to be choosing? Think about that when you're in that state. If you're in a state of confidence, trusting in the universal forces, having faith, knowing that things always work out for you, what do you think you're going to be choosing now, right? You're going to be choosing something very different from the person who's in fear, right? Two different choices because two different state of being. So you want to work on that state of being, that mental, emotional state of being, so that you could choose in a powerful manner. You can choose with confidence. You could choose with empowerment rather than choosing with the fear energy. Think about it. What are you going to be choosing when you have fear, fear, fear? You're not going to be choosing very powerfully. You're going to be debilitated. You're going to be frozen almost, right? And so that thing that soul's journey that you should be going of expansion and growth, you're not going to choose that route. You're going to choose a route that's not really, growing, expanding. You're going to choose a route that's more contracting, right? When you're in fear, you want to contract. So what powerful decision you're going to make in that state? So choosing from what state of being you are at is critical and important. Hello, Perry. Okay. Hello, Victoria Wilson. Will this live be saved? Will this live be saved? What can you please clarify that question? Victoria Wilson, will this live be saved? I'm not sure what that question is asking. Please clarify it. I would really appreciate it so that I could respond in a mindful way. Thank you, Victoria. Harry, thanks, Moon, for your kindness and your continued support for all of us in this process of learning and making wise decisions for our well-being and our time given. You're welcome. It's my honor and service to you, my fellow humans. Okay. Miracles 8. Yes, you can always watch the replay. Yes, you can always watch the replay. That is true. Okay, Samantha Barron, how can you regain your power after grief has entered fear deep in your heart? That's a beautiful question, right? You have a trauma that has happened in your life, right, Samantha? I get it. And that trauma feels debilitating, right? But know that there's a process to everything. You're not going to go from trauma to empowerment like overnight, right? That's just not going to happen. And it's not supposed to happen that way. There's supposed to be a process. A, B, C, D. You're not going to go from A to Z. You're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F. So when you have that trauma happening, let's say you're talking about grief right now and fear, you acknowledge that trauma. You acknowledge it. And the reason why you're acknowledging it and you're giving it space is to give it space, to give it energetic space. You need that space to be able to process that trauma. Maybe for some people, it might take a week. Maybe for somebody, it might take a little bit longer. You want to acknowledge and process that trauma and let that trauma take its course, that grief, that deep grief that you're talking about. If somebody that you loved dearly just died, you're not going to just move on with your life tomorrow. That's not going to happen. And it's not healthy. You don't want to put anything on the rug. So you're allowing that emotion to take its course. You acknowledge it and you allow it to take its course. You say to yourself, okay, this is a time for me to take for myself to acknowledge and process this trauma. I'm going to give myself some time to do this. And then over time, you will see that as you do that work, it's going to start to dissipate. The energy is not going to be so strong. Now, you'll always remember the death of that person and you would miss that person. I'm not saying that would disappear, but the energy of that trauma won't have so much power over you. So what it is, it's about time. It's about allowing that process to take place. And then over time, you will see that energy won't have so much power over you. Okay? So that's a beautiful question. And thank you so much for it. And you'll start to regain that power again as that trauma starts to dissipate more and more and more. The energy of that trauma starts to dissipate more and more. Okay, Harry, healing is a process of learning to live with love and gratitude for many blessings that exist now as we are now, regardless of the circumstance and the distractions of life. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hello, Elegant Ebony. You're welcome. I'm glad it's helpful. Okay, let's see. Vivian, I'm reading another book and I learned that I need to revamp my belief system. I feel I have a lot of work to do on my belief system. Absolutely. You know, Tony Robbins, a great coach, Tony Robbins, he always says, your beliefs will either create or destroy. Your beliefs will either create or destroy. So understand how powerful your beliefs are and how powerful you are. This is where I talk about understanding your power. When you understand your belief system and you put it into context, you understand your power. When you start understanding your inner world, your mental, emotional space, you're understanding your power. When you start to understand your belief systems, you understand your power. But it's all inner work. It's all inner awareness work. It's all inward work. That's all it is. It's all inner self-development work. And you start to understand yourself, you understand your power. And so that's why it's great to look at your belief systems and revamp those belief systems that are not aligned with your infinite potential, that are not aligned with your talents and gifts and your soul's journey and why God has placed you here for incredible higher purpose that is even beyond money. The money is just a byproduct, but the purpose is so much bigger than that. And your light can shine in a big way, big way. You know, one of the Marianne Williamson quotes says, she says, it's not our darkness that we are most afraid of. It's really our light. Because the light is, because we know the deepest part of you know how shining you are, that you are this beacon of light. And you're afraid to shine that out into the universe because you think you might get judged, right? It's like the sunlight. You know how the sunlight, when you look at the sunlight, it's so strong that you have to turn away from it because the light is so strong? That's what it is. You're turning away from your own light because it is so powerful. And it's so powerful that you have almost fear of it. That's what this is really about. What a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for reminding me of that. Okay. Is it normal to experience low frequency after being in high frequency? Yes, absolutely. I mean, are you saying right after that? Like you're saying, oh my God, this just happened to me. It is so amazing. And then you're saying a second later? Probably not a second later, but maybe a week later? Absolutely. It's ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. And you need those low frequency moments to get to high frequency. It's the precursor to high frequency. It's the yin and yang. You can't get healthy without disease, and you can't get disease without health. You see how it's all a precursor? It's cause and effect, cause and effect. So there's a purpose to low frequency. Nobody's saying that you have to be at high frequency all the time, because that would not be that universal balance, that yin yang balance. But if you're staying in low frequency for too many months and too many years, that is when it's a problem. You've got to be able to move towards that high frequency. And then, yes, the frequency, and then the low frequency will come. And the reason why that low frequency comes is to teach you another lesson so you can, again, move towards the high frequency. You see the purpose? It's all a dancing. It's all dancing. Ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. Okay? So yes, you can. And you should, because that low frequency is there to teach, is for you to start to say, to catch yourself, to learn lessons so that you can move again towards high frequency. Okay, so that was a great question. Thank you. Hi, Christy. Hello, Moon. I have a great opportunity to referee more in boxing. I'll be evaluated. How do I exude confidence without feeling like certain supervisors want me to fail? Okay. Okay, so if you have, when you say supervisors want you to fail, I'm not, you're saying people who supervise the boxing want you to fail. Okay, the thing is this, is that how do I exude confidence when you're saying that these people want me to fail, right? And I understand that. That's where the training comes in. How can you train yourself? So before this referee, whatever that you're doing, leading up to that, how can you train your mind to feel confident when you get there? Do the visualization exercise. See yourself virtual, maybe 2 weeks before that referee, or 3 weeks before that referee, or 1 week, every single day. Do a visualization exercise where you see yourself going into that arena, standing up tall with your shoulders back, with your head up high, and how you're exactly going to move, and how exactly you're going to behave, and how exactly you're going to hold your body and hold your head up high. Do that practice, exercise that practice before you go in, because then when you go in, you're going to put on that posture. You're going to have the mental, emotional, and physical state of confidence. So it's practice, okay? And right before you go in and do the referee, you say an intention right before you go in. It says, subconscious mind, I have confidence, I am capable, I am beautiful, I am fabulous, and I'm going to do a great job. Say that before you go in, right before you go in. Tell your subconscious mind, tell it, you're going to do a great job. Okay, Shawl, I've been struggling with my mom and sister now, taking a step back for them to realize and start respecting me. It's my first time on your channel. My question, what does my mom want from me? I'm Saji. Okay. Don't make it about your mom. Make it about yourself. Make it about yourself, because your mom has a very unique soul's journey and path. You say, what does she want from me? No, the question really here that's more important is, what do you want from yourself? If you want respect, then you have to respect yourself. If you want to feel accepted by others, you have to accept yourself. So your mother is just showing you, she's like a hologram. You know, I just did a video. She's like a mini hologram showing you what you've got to work on the inside of for yourself. So if your mother is constantly putting you down, let's say, for example, then what she's showing you is, how can I feel unconditionally worthy? That's the lesson to learn. How can I feel unconditionally worthy? Because when you feel unconditionally worthy, you're going to set boundaries, energetic boundaries and physical boundaries, where she can't penetrate it anymore. So she would have to do two things. She would have to either change her behavior, or she will start to disappear more and more. So what I ask you to do, Shawl, is ask yourself, what do I want from myself? Do I want to honor myself? Do I want to align with my talents and gifts? Do I want to respect myself? Do I want to love myself? Do I want to feel unconditionally worthy? That's what you have to get at first. And then from there, when you're in that empowering space, you will behave, your energetic blueprint, your energetic frequency will vibrate at a different level. And you will also set the healthy boundaries around your mother, where you won't allow her to cross it. You see what I'm saying? Because you have no control over her. And trying to figure out what she wants is not really relevant to your journey. Where she becomes very powerful here is to show you the things that you're going to work on for yourself. What am I going to work on for myself? That's where she has a lot of power. It's to show you what you want to work on for yourself, to be this, it's all changes inside out, all manifestations inside out. So you want to be this powerful manifester, you've got to be a powerful person on the inside. So she's showing you what you should be working on the inside. And she has a very unique journey, soul's journey, that only the divine is privy to. None of us are privy to her journey. And whether she becomes more enlightened or self-aware in this life, we don't know. But that's not your journey. That's her journey. And there's a bigger picture to everything. So allow her to be in her journey. That doesn't mean you're going to abandon her. You're going to, if she really, it doesn't mean you're going to completely abandon her. That's not what I'm saying. Is that don't be so concerned about her. Work on yourself. That's why the Buddha always says, change your mind. Don't ever worry about other people. Worry about changing your own mind. So figure out what it is that you want from yourself. Vladimir, thank you so much, Moon. This is so true. High frequency is definitely extremely important. Yes. Vivian, thank you, Moon, for creating the time to empower us, helping us. You're welcome. It is my privilege and honor. Hello, Christy, again. You're welcome. Corey, you're welcome. Hi, Corey. It's so great to see you. I love these hearts that are coming out. Where are they all coming from? It's just like bubbling out. Ooh, I love it. Okay, that sounds really great. Thank you so much for this. To really understand your power is to understand that you are an infinite being of infinite potential. That's your true nature of your existence. And all of that conditioning that's coming from the outside world you have to be aware of. And you have to be very discerning about what you allow in and what you don't allow in, because your mental, emotional space is everything. So remember that understanding your power as an infinite being of infinite potential is everything for your manifestation. And my job here is to help empower you, help empower your greatness, because each one of you is great in your own unique way. There is nobody that is better or worse. It's just different. It's like oranges and apples and grapes, just different, not better, just different. Okay, so again, the 69 Moons herbs, Yu Ping Fang Sen and Xiaoya Sun Plus. Yu Ping Fang Sun to help support a healthy immune system, Xiaoya Sun Plus to help and calm and focus your mind. It's based on traditional Chinese medicine herb principles, which I love. I take TCM herbs every day myself, and you could get it at shop.yinandyangliving.com. Let's do a closing prayer. Dear God, angels, spirit guides, send masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to open the sacred space on the topic of understanding your power, understanding that you are an infinite being of infinite potential. That is your true existence, existential existence. And allow these beautiful, beautiful souls to be able to come home to their higher self so they can feel that they are this infinite potential, infinite power, that they can be enlightened, they can be aware of how powerful they truly are, and to allow them to not be so absorbed in the white noise of society, in what other people have to say about them in society. Allow them to be more discerning, to get into themselves, to inward, their higher self, and connect with that higher purpose and that higher self that they truly are, so that they may truly tap into and feel what it's like to be an infinite being, to be able to manifest those abundance of money, career, business, relationships, whatever it is. It's just a byproduct of them being able to raise their frequency to high frequency of infinite potential, infinite being. So thank you so much for your continued guidance, your continued support, your continued wisdoms, your continued love, your continued protection. And I am truly honored to serve my fellow humans, to do this work, to empower them, to truly understanding their real power. Thank you. And so it is. Namaste. So it is. I'll see you again next week. Much love and blessings.